Hello, viewers. This is Sahara TV live from New York City. And as we promised today, we were going to bring you the Miss Universe. And she is an African from Angola by the name Leila Lopes. Bienvenido, Leila.
Obrigada.
Yes, that's the only it's the only Portuguese I know how to speak. By the way, so uh, 89 contestants all over the world came together, and it was shortlisted to about 16. As a matter of fact, they said there was even a contestant that made it to the final rounds from Nigeria, and about six of you. How did it feel like, to be an African in the midst of the whole of the world and be chosen as Miss Universe? How was it for you?
Well, when I first was called for the top 16, I confess that I felt a little bit sad because I was like, okay, we were about almost 10, about 10 girls from Africa, and I'm the only one. But then I saw, okay, so this is like my opportunity to win. This is a sign like for me to see that this is like my time. Then I decided to fight like for all the African girls who were in the competition. I was like, okay, if I got this chance, I'm going to fight until the end of the show. And when I heard my name being called, oh my gosh, I felt like, yes, I am the most blessed girl in this competition.
And
'Cause
apparently,
it was
it
hard.
meant that you're the most beautiful girl in the competition.
See, like most beautiful and most blessed.
Great. So you come from Angola, which is a country that's been ravaged by war, almost 20 years of war, and
Almost 30 years.
almost 30
Yeah.
years of war. How old are you?
Now,
Yes,
I'm 25.
25. And at what point were you conscious enough to know that your country was at war? Because you
At
grew up in
age of 7,
Yes.
8, yeah.
So you grew up in
8.
Angola. In which part of Angola did you grow up in?
From the south,
Yeah.
which was the most attacked area. Yeah, so I could hear the noises.
So, and you told me before you got here that when you were 14, the war came to an end.
Yeah, 14, 15. So it was like party time for everybody in Angola. Yeah.
And
We
you decided to
celebrated.
party by showing off your beauty around. When did you start this whole beauty pageant thing? When did you start,
In 2010, okay, in 2011, 2007, I moved to England. I went to study at university there. And then in 2010, I met one guy who organized pageants in England for Angolan girls who live in England. So he invited me to compete. I said yes. I won the competition in Miss Angola UK. And then I had to go to Angola for Miss Angola National Pageant. And I also won
wow. And then
That's
that was
what
what
gave
qualified
me
you
the
to go for
Miss
Miss Universe.
Yes.
Tell some of our viewers is that, people associate, this beauty pageant with something that might interfere with your education. How did it go with being someone who wants to attend some high, good quality education and having to be going all around the world showing off your beauty?
I think like okay, we can do the both things at the same time because I had to drop university.
You dropped off out of the university?
Yes, when I won the competition in UK, I had to go to Angola, and I couldn't go like stay in Angola and go to UK to study because I had like 1 year reign in Angola, and I had to prepare myself for Miss Universe. So you really can do this, the two things at the same time. But at the same time, I think like if you feel that you are able to do something good, because I was a good Miss Angola, I was great actually, and I'm a good Miss Universe too. So it doesn't mean that I wasn't good at school, but I was at the time that I felt like doing something even more, even bigger. I saw like I've always admired like women with power, beauty, and like when they can put all these things together and do good things for the goodwill of the people. I saw that I could do the same. I was like, okay, I'm beautiful, so I can use my beauty for the goodwill of the people, and I think it's great. It's great. I'm sad when people only see like the glamorous life of a pageant queen, of a Miss Universe, because there is more that a girl like can do besides being just like this sexy girl that everybody sees. I do a lot of charity work. Like I play with the kids. I take off my heels, makeup and all, and I play with kids. So this is like life. This is life, like general life.
You come from an apparently poor country because you just got out of war, and how much of politics you avoid as a beauty pageant. For example, would you go to a protest in Angola to say we kick out the president who's been there for 40 years? Would you do that?
If it was something that I believe that could change, I would.
Okay.
Yes.
And then they would take away your crown, you know that, right?
Well, but for my people, like for the goodwill of my people, I'll do something
Fantastic.
like that.
Yeah, so the other question is that most beauty pageants don't have causes. They don't have any social causes they pick on. Some of them just think they're beautiful and they want to win the crown and run away with the glamour and be on runways and red carpets. How much of that do you think is essential that you actually use your beauty, as you've said, for the good of the people?
Well, I think that it depends. I wouldn't say that they don't do because they don't want to. I think it depends from the country. Because for me, as Miss Angola, I was working with HIV causes, and I chose to work with children because I love working with children, and I really want to provide, to help to provide them a better future. So I think, and in Angola, we have a lot of problems. So as Miss Angola, if I can do something to help solving my country's problems, I will do. So I believe that most of the girls, most of the pageant girls or queens, if they don't do it, it's because they don't see or they don't have much to do. Because sometimes it's like a government staff. So I wouldn't say that they don't do it because they don't like it. Maybe they don't have the opportunity to do something.
One issue, we watched a video on our show recently of a girl from Uganda who went for a beauty pageant, and she said she faced tremendous racism. She was discriminated against because of her skin color. And did you face that in this competition? Did you feel like people mistreated you because of your skin color or where you come from, which is Africa, that's obviously portrayed as this wretched of the earth continent?
No. I heard a lot of good things about me. Everybody was calling me a beautiful girl, kind, educated. So I think it doesn't. I don't know where she went to and people treat her like that, but in my competition I didn't see anything like this. And my general life now, especially now, I've been having people calling me some names and all, but I just don't care. I think they're just jealous. And
so they call you names. Tell us one name that you really hate.
Racist names, you know.
So there's some kind of racism against you because people are calling you racist.
Not during the competition.
But after the
Brazil,
competition.
the organization, I didn't see any kind of racism.
Yeah.
But now, people, we were 89 girls.
Yeah.
Can you imagine, people from Mexico? Of course, they're supporting Mexicans.
Yeah.
People from South Africa, yes. People from Europe, for example, Portugal, they're supporting the Portuguese girl. And the Angolan girl wins. Well, they are not happy, so they will talk all the bad things they can.
Yeah, I mean, we heard recently that.
Yeah, and sometimes it's not because they're being racist. It's just because they are not happy
they don't
with
know how to handle it.
Yeah, so they say all the bad.
A little African girl just won this competition, from all of the rest of the world. There was actually a recent report that the government of Portugal was begging the government of your country to give them financial aid So this is a good time that you are Miss Universe. So the government of your country probably should borrow you to Portugal because you are the most beautiful girl on earth now, apparently, and nobody can do anything about that. So let's go to causes. What causes are you picking on this time? You're talking about social causes. What are the things you're going to focus on as Miss Universe during this time?
As Miss Universe, I'm an ambassador for HIV causes. And I've been also given the opportunity to work in other causes that I also like, working with the children. There is an organization, Project Sunshine, in New York that I've been working with them. So I go to hospitals to visit children and sign cards and play with them. And for HIV causes, I've been traveling, talking about HIV discrimination, protection, testing. So it's like creating awareness about this big disease.
So one of the things people will ask you, which is like a contradiction, is you show off your beauty, and it's about you being a sex figure, and people just look at you and like, wow, I want her to be my girlfriend or wife. And how does that gel with fighting against a disease that is contracted through sex?
Well, this is people's views, they have different views. Some people see me as an example, like some people see me as a
sex figure, yeah.
Yes, so it doesn't matter, like at the end of the day, people, like everybody's entitled to their own opinion. And so this is my, like, this is me, like, who has to work in order to change people's mind. Like, I want to change the way people think, because even in my country, they used to think like that. The pageant girls, they only exist like to go to the events and take pictures and all. But I could prove them that it's not like
different.
This. Yes.
Yeah. So now people are expecting to know how much you're worth. Are you worth a lot of money?
Well, if
apart from you beautiful,
if I work a lot, I'll have a lot of money.
Okay,
so
there are apparently a lot of work lined up for you. Are you getting like people asking you for endorsements? Clothing lines asking you to put on their clothes and perfumes and all that. You have a lot of that lined up.
Not yet. We work in some because it takes long. Yeah. It's like contracts and everything, but we work in something.
One question that somebody asked me to ask you is that where do beautiful women go when after all of this? Where have you ever tried to find out the most beautiful woman 10 years ago, where they are 9 years ago,
well,
8 years ago, 20 years ago?
Some of it depends. Like people think that they disappear because they are not in the public eye anymore. But maybe they chose another way of living, like they're housewives, they prefer to stay home with the kids, they mom now. And some of them work in companies that there is nothing to do with
being a beauty pageant.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it depends on the way you're going to put your life in the future.
Yes. So Africa is definitely always in need of help. People are hungry, starving. There's war. There are still mines in Angola that are yet to be exploded.
Yeah.
On the continent of Africa, what is your best interest? Because you mentioned before we got in here that you are now the ambassador of Dryland, which means that you want to also fight for environmental causes. But of all the myriads of trouble on the continent of Africa, which one is most attractive to you to help push the world to understand? To come to the aid of Africa for?
Can you repeat?
What I mean is that what cause, apart from HIV and AIDS, what other causes on the continent of Africa do you think you can help with?
I think education is still a problem. I think when we have education, we are more capable of doing stuff like developing ideas, of creating things. So we see like countries like Asian countries, they are developing more now because like they have ways of creating things. They think they think really well, and they can create things. And I think if we have more educated people, like more scientists, more doctors, more teachers, we'll be able to grow more.
Fantastic. So tell, of course, your viewers and your admirers all over the world, what they should expect from you. Where are you going to be going to, things that you do when you're not walking a red carpet. They just want to hear, about your ordinary life. What do you do day to day?
Well, when I'm not traveling, I'm in New York. Luckily, I have the time to do stuff that I also like social work. I volunteer with a lot of organizations. There is this organization that helps delivering food to people who cannot move themselves or cannot cook for themselves. So I help them delivering food. The name of this organization is God's Love We Deliver, like kisses to you all. And the other organization is Men Health.
Is it mental health?
No. No. Gay Men's Health Crisis. It's an organization who takes care of people living with HIV/AIDS. I help them serving food for these people. And I also work with Project Sunshine, which is an organization that works with children. So, like, my life in New York is also busy. Sometimes I have events and interviews. But this is like what I do when I'm not traveling. I'm in New York working.
I was asking you earlier, do people recognize you on the street of New York? And I'm like, who is that girl,
Yeah, sometimes people think that I'm a model, so they look at me, oh, your face is familiar. I've seen you in magazines, TV, and I'm like, And then, where are you from? And I say, Angola. Oh, Angola is the country of Miss Universe. They say, And then like, oh, actually, she looks like you. Oh, that's you. I just laugh. And some of them, like taxi drivers from Africa, they like, I've watched this competition. I knew since the first time I saw you on TV, I knew that you were going to win. We are so proud of you. You don't even need to pay. You can go and say, no, this is your job. Let me pay and I'll tip you.
You need to put me in touch with the taxi drivers who will not let you pay if you are from Africa before you go.
Well, they're proud. They take pictures of me. Like okay, let me just stop my car here. I need to take a picture of you, please. They say, okay. It's funny.
Well, that's pretty impressive that, and this is New York City, this is a new life you have. And what is the difference before we wrap up? How do you find it different living in New York and Africa or England, where you apparently went to school for a little bit?
Well, in Angola, my life was much calmer, of course. I wasn't, people think that I used to model, but I never modeled. I was like a regular girl, like. And England, yeah, London is also a big, busy city, but I also used to have a normal life. I was a student at university, so I didn't do like much. But New York is like definitely a change in my life. Big change. Like, I don't have anybody in New York, so I do everything by myself. I don't have friends. Like, my life in here is like work.
Well, we guarantee you that we're friends now, so you can come back and volunteer for us as well. Leila, it's been a pleasure having you on SaharaTV, and we wish you success as you move around the world pursuing just causes for the underprivileged, and as you continue to, carry out and along peoples around the world who need your voice to find a sense of dignity and belonging in different societies. And like you said, it's also very proud to hear you that you do everything you can for the people of Angola to be free from any form of oppression. In that regard, we also are with you because we think just like in Nigeria, Ethiopia, in Egypt, Tunisia, Libya, Angola badly needs a revolution. All right.
Yeah, but we will get there.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming.
And kisses to you all. I wish I can still be an inspiration, like for everybody out there, for all the young girls, especially. I'll tell you all that it's very important to dream. I used to be a dreamer. I am still a dreamer.
And what are you dreaming about finally? What is it that you dream about in the future? The big dream you have that has not come to pass?
Well, I always say when people ask me, so Leila, do you like being famous? Do you like the attention? How do you see yourself like when everything is finished? Like next year you will not be Miss Universe anymore. And I always say that I'm not here because of the fame. Like I'm here because I think that I have something to tell. I hope people can follow, people can think the same way as I do. That when we believe in something and we fight for it, we can see things happening. And so this is what I hope, like when everything is done, I hope I can be like kind of Princess Diana, maybe like Oprah. Like women who believe in something and they fought for the things they believe.
Good news is that you're already Princess Lopes.
Oh, yes, that's true. Thank you.
Thank you
African queen.
Yeah, absolutely. You are actually the global queen. You're the most beautiful girl in the universe today. So it's beyond Africa. Thank you for coming. Viewers, we'll be back again on SaharaTV. It's been Leila Lopes, Miss Universe. See you soon.